morning, students. Today we shall discuss about supply. We have already discussed the concepts of demand and the elasticity of demand and the few topics relating to demand. If left, we will discuss it in the later part. So today we shall start with supply. And what is supply? Basically, it is the quantity that the producer is willing to offer at different price levels. Okay, and as we all know, supply of a commodity is positively related with the price of the commodity. If the price goes up, the producer feels that the increase in the price will fetch him more profit, and therefore he increases the supply of that commodity into the market. Whereas if the price goes down, he feels that he will be faced, or he will witness a a scene or a situation of loss, and therefore he reduces the production of the commodity and reduces the supply of the commodity into the market. So we have seen that the supply of a commodity is directly related with the price of the commodity. Okay, so there is again the concept of supply function under the concept of supply, just like the concept of demand function, in which we studied on what factors the quantity demand depends. Over here we will study how supply or the quantity supply depends upon the various factors. The supply function QS basically shows quantity supply is a function of price of the commodity, obviously, and they share a positive relationship. If price increases, quantity supply increases, whereas if price decreases, quantity supply will decrease. Then price of related goods. Then in case of supply we have production costs. Okay, so quantity supply also depends upon production cost. If the production cost is low, more will be supplied. If the production cost is high, less will be supplied and less will be produced. Then factor costs. Factor costs are basically the cost of the inputs: land, labor, capital, organization. If the factor costs are high, obviously the production cost will also be high, and the supply will be affected inversely. Okay, so what we have seen that quantity supply depends upon price of the commodity, price of related good, production cost, factor cost. Then it may depend upon expectation. Okay, if the producer feels that in the near season or in the near month, upcoming month, his sale will go up, then he will obviously increase his supply. Okay, then we have seasons, like the producer of winter clothes will feel that in the month of November and December, the supply or the sale of his commodity will go up, so he will increase the supply of his commodity, that is the winter clothes. Okay, and there are several more factors which affect the quantity supply. So this is basically a supply function which shows the dependency of quantity supply upon various factors. Now, just like movement of demand, or just like the concept of change in demand and increase and decrease in demand, or movement along the same demand curve or shift in demand curve, we also have the concept of movement along the same supply curve and the concept of shift in supply curve. So movement along same supply curve. Why does it occur? It occurs due to change in the price of the commodity, keeping all these variable constant. Under this section, we will just study the relationship between QS and PC. Okay, and as we all know, the relationship between quantity supplied and the price of the commodity is positive. So a supply curve is always a positive sloping curve. So suppose you are in this position, the initial price is P naught and the corresponding quantity is Q naught, and you are at point A. Now if the price goes up, if the price increases, then you will move to Q1, you will move rightwards, and that means the producer will supply more amount of quantity and you will move to this point B. So what is basically happening is, due to an increase in the price, the quantity supplied has increased from Q0 to Q1, and this is shown by a upward movement in the supply curve. Okay, and this increase in supply is basically known as extension or expansion in supply. Okay, similarly, if we face a fall in the price, we will also witness a fall in the quantity supplied. We will move this way, that is the leftwards, and along the same supply curve we will move downwards, that is from A to C. We will move to point C, and over this or under this case we are witnessing a case of contraction in supply. So due to increase in the price we witness extension in supply, whereas in case of fall in price we witness contraction in supply. Okay, and extension in supply is shown by upward movement in along the same supply curve, whereas a contraction is shown by downward movement along the same supply curve. So all this phenomenon is occurring due to change in the price of the commodity itself, keeping other factor constants. Okay, now we will move to the concept of shift in supply curve. Under the shift in supply curve, all other variables are said to affect the quantity supplied, keeping this one constant, that is the price of the commodity is assumed to be constant. In case of shift of supply curve, we assume the price of the commodity to be constant, and any variation in the quantity supplied is brought about by these factors, the other factors. Okay, suppose QS DC. Okay, so this is our supply curve, initial supply curve, say SS, and the initial price is P naught, and the quantity supplied at P naught is Q naught. So I am in point number A. Okay, now due to some reason or due to change in any of these factors, say reduction in factor cost or reduction in production cost, now I am able to supply the same good at more at the same price. Then my supply curve will move rightward. Now what does this shift in the supply curve imply? It implies that as I am able to produce the commodity at a lower cost, I am able to sell more amount of this quantity, more amount of the commodity at the same price. Okay, so keeping the price constant, in the last case I was only able to supply Q naught amount of quantity. Now as my production capability has increased due to fall in the factor cost or due to the production cost, I am able to supply the same at the same price. I am able to supply Q1 amount of commodity. So there has been an increase in supply due to change in these factors. Okay, or reduction in production cost. So this is known as increase in supply. Okay, so this can be seen as an increase in supply, or we can say that the increase in supply can be of two types. One is same price, more supply. So we have witnessed this case over here, same price and we are able to supply more amount of the quantity. Or else we according to the new supply curve, the same quantity or the old quantity can be now supplied at a lower price. This can also be seen as an increase in supply. So the other case is same quantity at a lower price. So both these cases are a type of increase in supply. One is same price or the constant price, more supply, or same quantity or the old quantity at a lower price. Okay, so this was a case of increase in supply. Similarly, we have the case of decrease in supply. Now decrease in supply will occur if the factor cost or the production cost goes up. If the production cost goes up, I will be able to produce less. So initially I was able to produce sell the quantity at P naught, and I was able to sell Q naught amount at the price P naught. So P naught was successful in covering my production cost. Okay. Now if the production cost goes up, the supply curve will shift leftwards. Okay. And now the same quantity that was supplied at P naught price will require or will be associated with a price P1 which is higher than the initial price. So what did we witness? The same quantity which was given to us by the producer at a lower price now is being given to us at a higher price so that he can cover up his cost. So this is a type of decrease in supply. Okay, more price, same supply. This is a case of decrease in supply. Okay, or else we can say another form of decrease in supply will occur in this manner: same price, less supply. So this decrease in supply is basically known as decrease in supply. So in the second case, we have the case of same price, less supply. So these two types are basically a form of decrease in supply. One is more price, same supply, and the other is same price, that is at price P naught we are now supplying less amount. Initially at P naught we were supplying Q naught amount, and now we are supplying Q1 amount, which is less than the Q naught amount. Okay, or we could have supplied Q naught amount at P naught price, but due to increase in the cost of production, the same Q naught is being supplied at a higher price to cover up the cost of production. So this is all about movement along the same supply curve and shift of the supply curve. It is quite similar to the concept of movement along the same demand curve and the shift of demand curves. Now we shall move to elasticity of supply. Okay, elasticity of supply. Now elasticity of supply, what would it mean? It implies that, or it shows the responsiveness of quantity supplies to change in price. Now in case of demand, the responsiveness of quantity demanded to change in price was negative. Okay, but in case of supply, it is positive, as we know that price and quantity supply share a positive relationship. So the coefficient of elasticity of supply is always positive. Okay, and the elasticity of supply shows the responsiveness of quantity supply to change in the price. Now it is also of 5 types: elastic, inelastic, perfectly elastic, perfectly inelastic, and unitary elastic. However, the shape of the supply curves are a bit different. So let us first write elastic supply. The case of elastic supply. The case of elastic supply, the supply curve looks like this. The supply curve origins from y-axis. Okay. Yes. And in case of elastic supply, we know ES is greater than 1. The value of elasticity of supply will be greater than 1, and over here change in price will be less than change in quantity. Okay. So the formula for elasticity of supply, first and foremost thing which I forgot to mention earlier, the formula for elasticity of supply is percentage change in quantity supplied by percentage change in price of the commodity. Okay, or it can be derived as del Q by del P into QS, P naught Q naught. Okay, the same formula which we use for calculating elasticity of demand now can be used for calculating the elasticity of supply. However, over here the quantity supplied is taken into consideration and not the quantity demanded. So for this ratio to be greater than 1, the numerator needs to be greater than the denominator. Okay, and this is only possible if change in quantity supplied is greater than change in price. So let us take a price P naught and the associated quantity is Q naught. Now if I take a price P1, see it is associated with Q1. So over here we can see that del Q looks, the gap between Q0 and Q1 looks greater than the gap between P0 and P1. Okay, so this is the case of elastic supply. In this case, the supply curve origins from the y-axis. Then we have the case of inelastic supply. Over here the elasticity will be less than 1, and for this ratio to be less than 1, we need to have del P greater than del Q. That is, the denominator part needs to be greater than the numerator part. So we have to draw the diagram in that manner to satisfy this condition. So over here the supply curve origins from the x-axis. Now see, P naught, Q naught, if you take P1, Q1, the distance or the difference between Q naught and Q1 seems to be less than the distance between P naught and P1. Okay, so this is the case of inelastic supply and this is the case of elastic supply. Now we shall quickly move to the other types. The other types are unitary elastic. Unitary elastic supply. In this case, the value of EP equals to 1. That means del P should be equals to del Q for making the ratio value equals to 1. And in this case, the diagram will be of this type. The supply curve will start from the origin, that is a 45-degree line. The supply curve will be a 45-degree line to maintain equality on both sides. Now if I increase the price, the distance between Q0 and Q1, P0 and P1 seems to be same. So this is the diagram for unitary elastic. Then we have inelastic, perfectly inelastic supply. Now over here the value of EP is equals to 0, and for this we need a vertical straight line parallel to y-axis. That means over here, even if we change the price, the quantity supply won't respond. So whenever one variable does not respond to another variable, we say it is perfectly inelastic. Over here, the quantity supply is not responding to any change in the price. So over here, del Q is 0, del P is something positive. So for this ratio to be equals to 0, the upper numerator portion needs to be 0. Therefore, over here, Q0 or del Q is equals to 0. And last, we have the case of perfectly elastic supply. For this case, the supply curve is horizontal parallel to the x-axis, and here the quantity may change by an infinite amount due to a small change in the price. So here del Q will be infinite, whereas del V will be something positive. So infinity divided by any positive number will give you infinity. Okay, so over here the value of EP will be infinite. So these were the cases of elasticity of supply. So we are done with the concept of elasticity of demand, elasticity of supply, and the concept of demand and supply. Now we shall move to the concept of the equilibrium and how it is determined by the intersection of demand and supply.